Welcome back guys. A new update is available for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, update 3. It includes tons of fixes and performance improvements. The game now officially supports XeSS 2 and FSR 3.1 upscalers. FSR 3.1 frame generation support is also included, but the upscaler is not decoupled from frame generation. This means we are forced to use FSR upscaler when we enable FSR frame generation. This is a bit disappointing. This is the update log. DLSS 4 support has been added. If you have an RTX 50 series GPU, you will be able to enable multi-frame generation technique 3 times or 4 times using the new transformer based model. DLA and DLSS super resolution have been updated to the transformer based model. They work on every RTX GPU. Ray trace local lights. Players who have path tracing enabled. This update includes a new option for ray trace shadows to include all light sources, which significantly increases the quality of shadow in interior locations. But we still have access to the previous setting. Path tracing, full ray tracing support for AMD and Intel graphics cards. This is very heavy on the VRAM. Here the developers have recommended only use full ray tracing if your GPU has at least 16 GB of VRAM. Oh my god. I'll be running the PC Gamepass version of the game on my Rog Ally that has Windows 11. Before jumping into the gameplay, I would like to thank Keymailer and Xbox for providing me with a free monthly subscription of PC Gamepass. It gives us access to hundreds of games. We can play these games for as long as we want until our subscription expires. We also get access to many new games day one of the release, like Avowed. Even Indie was available at launch on Game Pass. We also get a small discount on some games being sold on Microsoft Store. EA Play membership is also included with it. In India, Microsoft Store even supports UPI mode of payment. Open the game's installed directory. Manage. Files. Browse. Game size is around 113 GB. Open the game's installed folder. Open content folder. Here check the version of libxeSS.dll file. It's 2.0.0.18. Got the same file in the demo of Like a Dragon Pirates. For this game, I've set the UMA buffer size to 7 GB. My Ally is running on BIOS version 3.4.1. I have installed AMD's GPU driver Adrenaline Edition version 25.2.1. Using a 30 watts manual profile or 3 power value set at 30 watts. 900p resolution CPU boost disabled. Connected my 8-bit to Ultimate 2C controller to Ally Wire 2.4 GHz wireless board. For the PC Game Pass version of the game's Adrenaline profile does not pop up automatically, so no access to Adrenaline settings. Now if you're planning on using the game's official FSR frame generation, make sure Afterburner or RTSS is not running in the background, otherwise it will cause the game to crash. I'll be using AMD's performance overlay to show you the performance metrics. Run the game. In-game settings, display mode set to borderless window, 900p resolution. VSync off, FPS limit 1000, motion blur, chromatic aberration and film grain disabled. Depth of field disabled as well using the low preset. Look at that VRAM usage, 6.9 GB. Vegetation animation quality set to ultra upscaler FSR. We have access to XeSS, but when I switch to XeSS, FSR frame generation setting disappears. Go back to FSR using its quality preset. Frame generation disabled for the time being. That's it. First I'll test the game in the city of Vatican. This location is heavy on both CPU and GPU. Look at that CPU utilization 80% and we are hitting the GPU bottleneck. But FPS is staying above 30 to 35. Populated area. Other areas are not as demanding as Vatican. In some areas, the indoor areas, FPS stays within a range of 50 to 60. Okay, there's always a hitch when we activate a checkpoint. Image quality is looking sharp, but in the background I am observing some texture shimmering. See the railings here. Sprint around. This game does not suffer from traversal stutters like what we have seen in some games that run using Unreal Engine 5. Checkpoint activated, it caused the stutter. Otherwise it's a stable experience. Another checkpoint, what's going on? So many checkpoints in this level. 30 to 40 fps, 900p resolution. I'll drop the resolution to 720p now. 720p, apply. And using frame generation, you want the base fps to be as high as possible. If you're using a gamepad, I would recommend targeting a minimum of 40 to 45 fps. You're getting 40 fps now. Activated a checkpoint. Okay, now I'll enable FSR frame generation. 40 fps without it. Can be enabled on the fly. On. Back to the game. Here FPS increased to around 65. Can observe the added amount of smoothness. Latency increased as well, but it's manageable. Game's HUD elements are not flickering. Even the subtitles are not flickering. I'll equip an item now. No artifacts are produced around the equip item. This used to happen in the case of Nickel 9's mod. Yeah, shadow looks a bit blurry during motion. See, common FSR frame generation related artifact. It's up to AMD to fix it. I'll engage in combat now. Back to sky. Everyone will come after me. Out of stamina. Yeah, block the attack. 60 to 70 FPS during combat. I'll test the game in another area now. Took out so many of them. I was not expecting this to happen. This is the opening sequence. Takes place in Peru. Thick foliage around us. FPS is within a range of 60 to 70. This is the game running with frame generation, 720p resolution. GPU VRAM usage is around 6.6 GB here. Look at that CPU utilization, 40%. In Vatican, CPU utilization was around 80%. Much better frame pacing here. I'll be honest guys, even on low settings the game looked absolutely amazing. I mean, look at these visuals. Okay, I'll trigger a cutscene. When a cutscene is playing, frame generation smoothing effect gets disabled. Just wanted to show you this. See, FPS dropped to around 40 to 50. Some cutscenes are very demanding. FPS will drop down to as low as 30. See, it depends on the scene. 37 FPS है. I skip the cutscene. In heavily populated areas and areas with thick foliage, FPS will stay within a range of 60 to 70 with FSR frame generation on. Game running at 720p resolution. Low settings. I think I need to go through here. I hope I'm not lost. Look at that beautiful lighting. Move this thing. Tree trunk. Scripted sequence. This will trigger a cutscene. Yeah, frame generation effect got disabled. See, cutscene is playing. FPS drop to 30. Now I load an indoor area. Marshall College. Here we'll be getting better performance. Yeah, FPS increased to around 95. Game is running so smoothly. This is amazing. Beautiful lighting again. In indoor areas you can even increase the resolution to 900p. It's entirely up to you. Image quality is looking decent even at 720p resolution. I'll increase the resolution to 900p. Apply. FSR frame generation is still on. Here FPS is close to 90, 80 to 90. Depends on the scene. So good to see FSR frame generation getting officially added to this game. Finally, don't need to use any mods anymore. Previously I was using Pure Dark's FSR frame generation mod. paid mod, not required now. So that's it for the video guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.